So, I've been watching Red Letter Media for a few years now. The Plinkett reviews are great, Half in the Bag is fantastic, but my favourite stuff is Best of the Worst. Best of the Worst is a review show where the gang watches some of the worst and weirdest things ever put to film, ranging from terrible B-movies to forklift instructional videos. It manages to capture some of that fun of a bad movie watch party with friends, where you hang out, maybe have a drink, and have some laughs enjoying something bizarre yet entertaining. So this is my list of the 10 Best of the Worst episodes. This video will contain crude language, discussion of videos containing sex, drugs and violence, and the often terrifying sound of Rich Evans' laughter, all of which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children, and is intended for mature audiences only. Number 10. Best of the Worst, Wheel of the Worst, number 18. In this episode, the gang choose 3 videos to watch by spinning on the Wheel of the Worst. They love their silly gimmicks, and so do we. And the Wheel of the Worst intro is pretty great.
Many have tried to destroy it, but true evil never dies. It is only reborn.
This episode has Law Enforcement Guide to Satanic Cults, Preventing Disaster at the Crossing, and Creating Rem Lazar. Law Enforcement Guide to Satanic Cults is a video which purports to be for training about satanic cults, for use by law enforcement, but which is in my opinion likely a piece of religious propaganda, which is something that shows up far too often among the VHS tapes of Best of the Worst. They go hard on trying to make a link between murderous satanic cults, the pagan community and the homosexual community.
Of course, the homosexual community. Interestingly enough, they go hand in hand.
Yes. Can you say agenda?
Which definitely gets funnier when they start obsessing about anal.
A sexual type of ritual, anal, a celebration of orgies including anal, entails anal.
Look, the Satanist video wasn't completely worthless. I did learn that Satanists love anal.
Preventing Disaster at the Crossing is a video to explain the dangers of driving over a railway crossing whilst the barriers are down and a train is coming, whilst driving a school bus filled with children, because apparently the dangers of driving over a railway crossing when the barriers are down and a train is coming whilst driving a school bus filled with children is not covered by common sense for some people. And the real standout from this episode is Creating Rem Lazar. Creating Rem Lazar is a magical musical journey where 2 kids realise they have the same imaginary friend, and decide to bring him to life by creating him out of a mannequin, learning the awesome, steel beam melting power of friendship along the way.
Oh God!
Don't go in there.
Don't. No, not down there.
No.
Oh,
no,
God.
No, okay. Hands are okay. Whoa. All right.
Oh, no, psych. Yeah, so far all he's done is stalk someone in a hallway and watch a little girl sleep.
You're being a cynic, Jay. This is magical.
Rich is on good form throughout this episode, and when he's on good form, he's just a plain funny guy.
He's clearly got a picture of his kids on his desk, and he doesn't want to talk about them. What is that? What is that?
Josh, they were killed in a bus accident 5 years before. It's too raw!
Rich is also disturbingly good at predicting things. He is straight up savant-like in his ability to predict the plots of terrible B-movies. And in this episode he makes a shockingly accurate one.
It is hidden at the highest point that the mind can go.
The highest place you can imagine is the top of the World Trade Center.
That's not it. That's the Empire State Building. It's really tall.
Certainly is.
But the building my dad showed me is much taller. And there are 2 of them.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
Well, what do you think?
It's high.
They're there, Rich. I know.
The towers are straight up, while the tops of mountains are on top of slanted ground.
Like, he does this a lot. We also get to see a classic bit of Mike behaviour in this episode. Mike is a contrarian ass at the end.
Yeah, Mike.
Oh, don't you fucking do it.
Don't do it.
I am. I don't want to go against the grain, but the best of the worst to me is the school bus railroad crossing video.
Like, he does this a lot. It gets a laugh, but it's a cheap bit and the guys are obviously so done with it. This episode Rem Lazar wins Best of the Worst, and a place in our hearts. Number 9. Best of the Worst Supergirl, Captain America 1990, and Roger Corman's Fantastic Four. This episode is a superhero themed one. They cover a lot of superhero movies on Red Letter Media, but this is one of the few superhero focused Best of the Worsts. We have guest hosts Josh and Jack, 2 Red Letter Media regulars who make frequent appearances as hosts on Best of the Worst. Josh brings his expertise as a music guy to the discussions, In Jack, his expertise is a nerd and gamer guy. Supergirl is the 1984 spin-off from the Christopher Reeve Superman series, following Clark Kent's cousin Kara as she comes to Earth and engages in various girly superpowered hijinks. There is basically no plot, and the writing is extremely dated. You get a sense that the writer's room was a bunch of men half-heartedly asking themselves, what do women even do?
She's in the woods. She's got to frolic with bunnies.
She's flying. She needs to fly by some ponies. I know girls love ponies.
Captain America is the 1990 superhero film directed by Albert Pune, following the classic origin story of Captain America, as he takes on Red Skull, using his experimentally induced super soldier powers to pretend to feel sick and steal cars. And this film is not great either. Like, it's actually pretty funny how much Captain America sucks.
Would you please pull over the car? I am going to get sick. You're kidding! Sharon, could you pull over for a minute? I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh, no, he's...
Thanks for your help. Thanks for my help.
I can't believe they did that twice.
I hope he does that to the Red Skull.
Fantastic Four is the unreleased 1994 superhero film based on the Marvel superhero team. We see them surviving a space-based accident, discovering their powers and fighting the evil Victor Von Doom in the classic Fantastic Four origin story. And as far as Fantastic Four movies go, this one does a good job of walking the line between the quaint goofiness of these heroes and taking them seriously.
Susan, that's it. You've got a problem with being shy, right? So, you vanish, get it? Johnny, you've always had a quick temper. Now, come on, ever since I've known you, right? You could call it fiery, so what happens? I catch fire. Exactly. And me, I've always had this problem. I just stretch myself thin.
Well, what do you think?
This movie was never released and was never seen legally. It was only made to hold on to the movie rights for Fantastic Four. But the director and actors did the best with what they had, really giving it their all. It turns out to be the best movie on offer this episode, winning at the place of Best of the Worst, because it was made with love, and it's nice to see the guys' reactions to this. Jay obviously has an appreciation for what can be done when a team cares about the project they're working on.
This Fantastic Four movie is so much better than its reputation.
Yes.
Number 8. Best of the Worst APE. Easy Kill and Honourable Men. This is a regular episode of Best of the Worst with the gang choosing 3 movies to watch. APE is the story of a 36-foot tall ape. Which escapes capture and goes on a rampage around Seoul, kidnapping an actress as he does. It's basically a low-budget King Kong film, without all the cool island with dinosaur stuff at the beginning, or the Empire State Building to end up at. The US commander guy is clearly drunk.
Order the 3rd and 4th Battalion to reinforce the... What? The Loch Ness Monster couldn't make it over the Berlin Wall.
Which is just terrible. I mean, to be drunk whilst filming.
And I said, what is this?
Family ties and growing pains.
It's not a great movie, but I love me a terrible creature feature, and it gives the gang plenty of good stuff to work with.
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah, that's good. He's speaking of blood. We're making progress. Hey, now it's time to dance, buddy.
Easy Kill is a crime thriller about an ex-cop bar owner who is enticed by a beautiful but unstable woman in a plot to kill his drug dealer doppelganger for the life insurance money. With more twists than a Chubby Checker best-of album. We get Frank Stallone playing a special kind of creep.
Drives to her house uninvited.
Lets himself
in.
For a big shower.
Takes a shower. Sniffs her shoes. Sleeps on her bed.
Looks through her purse.
Also featuring a wonderful voiceover performance for our bad guy.
Going through that airport was tough. There you have dogs sniffing up and down.
The plot for this movie is a bit of a mess, a really overly convoluted thriller. The Red Letter Media guys have a great idea on how to salvage it though, as they pitch the movie a not so easy kill.
Mr. B.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they did amazing.
He's trying to like bandage your wrist. He's like covered in like.
He gets around his
Not so easy kill.
Not so easy kill.
Sorry, Ron Atkinson. You get caught up in a film noir plot. You look just like my husband. He's like this super handsome man.
It's like Brad Pitt.
Any second now. I think we're looking for a Brad Pitt lookalike.
So it's a mistake.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
Now you're gonna hold this briefcase and you're gonna get on the plane. This is the one that's not gonna blow up.
This whole bit works so well. All of the footage from the Bean movie matches amazing. Just a great joke with even better editing to cap it off. Masterful. Honourable Men is a police drama focusing on the main character's relationships with various younger women, as he struggles to come to grips with the meaning of honour.
Well, Honorable Men is the most ironically titled film we've ever done. There's a clear disconnect between what the filmmaker intended and...
These psycho nutcase women are too friggin' emotional for me.
And their parents want them home by midnight.
I think that's all they're good for, is sex.
I'm too old to go to prom.
And oh my, what a creep show, which unfortunately we see a lot of on Best of the Worst. Their frequent occurrence gave rise to the black tank top theory. The black tank top theory is where you have a delusional director who thinks they are a badass, where you are an older schlubby guy who is pathetic in real life, who has to make a film to live out your fantasy of being an action star / ladies man. At some point in that film, you will wear a black tank top, and that is a hallmark of your psychosis. And boy does that theory hold up. And it is this which wins Honourable Men the place of Best of the Worst in this episode, as the guys are so intrigued and entertained by the delusional choices that were made during this film's creation. Starring, written and directed by the same guy, in classic black tank top style.
It's weird.
It is.
You don't feel good about it.
You don't feel good about it, but in terms of Best of the Worst,
yeah,
it is the best of the worst because it is unique.
It's shocking. It's shocking watching it and that somebody thought this is okay.
Yes, yes.
This episode also gives us a nice little story from Mike and Rich about the time they were extras in the film Never Been Kissed, which is a nice little tidbit.
The scene took place at Navy Pier, and Drew Barrymore got in a Ferris wheel with her male co-star, and that was the entire scene, and they needed extras on Navy Pier playing around on all the rides, and Rich Evans and I went and did that.
Number 7. Best of the Worst, The Instructor, Through Doohan's Eye, and Twisted Pair. This is another regular episode. We have an appearance from my favourite guest hosts, Jim and Colin. These guys are visual effects artists from Canada, and they appear in Red Letter Media several times. They obviously love cinema. I generally appreciate their opinions and their sense of humour. Always a pleasure when they make an appearance. The Instructor is a martial arts action film where two rival karate schools come to blows in hand-to-hand fighting, car chases, bike chases, foot chases, and action-packed chase scenes. We have an unlikely protagonist, and there were reshoots required by the studio for this film, so for the entire opening fight scene, our protagonist is in a wig, having had a haircut, giving him this Lego Man animated toy quality.
It's obvious that it's a wig. It couldn't look more like a wig. Snap-on, afro.
Fisher Price Adventure People body.
There are epic fights. And yes, chase scenes.
This is like the entire second half of the movie.
Like, it goes on and escalates.
But he's got a chainsaw.
I mean, no, you saw smoke. Oh, yeah, holy shit.
He's gonna find a gun.
Through Dead Eyes is a thriller where a burned-out detective recruits the help of a blind psychic, traumatised by her ability to see people at the time of their death, in order to track down and stop a serial killer strangler. Notable for the inclusion of James Doohan, Star Trek Scotty, and it has some dreadful acting.
There's been another killing like before.
But so what? I'm retired. I protected you, and you swore you'd stop.
They were in love.
What about the others? Were they in love?
They would have been. They would have been in love.
Twisted Pair is... Well, Twisted Pair is a Neil Breen film. A master of so bad it's good cinema, Neil Breen is setting a new standard in What the Hell Did I Just Watch for internet review shows everywhere. And it's a pleasure to watch as Red Letter Media grapple with this new titan of the genre.
Who am I? What am I? What's happened to us? Follow me. They can't hurt me. You won't get hurt. Follow me.
Cannot answer.
This is too much. He's overplayed his hand.
No, no.
Rich, you underestimate crazy.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Everyone has the right to be loved. Everyone has the right to love and peace. I'll be right here.
Bullshit.
And that is the only Neil Breen film on this list, and that is worth mentioning, because every single one of Red Letter Media's discussions of Neil Breen is amazing. But like, it's usually the one thing that saves a bad episode, and this is a list of the best episodes. And the combination of The Instructor, Through Doohan's Eyes, and Twisted Pair make this a great episode. But of course, Twisted Pair wins the place of Best of the Worst this episode.
Well, you know, there was some strong competition tonight. Some really, really solid competition. But, you know, Neil Breen is just at the top of his game. The man is untouchable. He's on a hot streak right now. Neil Breen is the Michael Jordan of bad cinema.
Number 6. Best of the Worst Twin Dragon Encounter, American Rickshaw, and Infested. In another regular episode. Twin Dragon Encounter is a martial arts action-adventure film starring the identical twins, the McNamara brothers. When their vacation is interrupted by a gang of mercenaries, the Twin Dragons must use their awesome martial arts skills to fight back and rescue their girlfriends. Twin Dragon Encounter is a funny one. The quintessential vanity project.
This movie for a vanity project is shockingly chaste. Like, there's no, like, male gaze.
Can we cut to the ATV scene again?
Sorry.
That's a problem when that's the most sexually charged scene in the film, yeah.
American Rickshaw is a mystical action thriller where a Miami rickshaw puller finds himself entrapped by destiny and ancient Chinese magic in a battle of good versus evil. This one's pretty crazy.
And then his roommate convinces him he has to go back to the boat to get the right tape. So he goes back to the boat and finds out that the evil son has been murdered by hands of steel. At which point, the ancient Chinese lady cat freaks out and the boat burns down. It's not sure if this is done deliberately or if her powers were just out of control. It's not clear.
What the heck is going on here?
But really, the centerpiece of the story is an ancient Chinese immortal witch who is picked up by a man in a rickshaw who was born on 6/6/66, which means he has the power of the tiger. And there's also a TV evangelist who is
Played by
evil
Donald Pleasance.
and seduced the witch to steal her magic immortality bull statue, which made the witch become old.
What the heck is going on here?
Gotta buy groceries. We gotta pay the...
Infested is a star-studded horror film where a group of friends get together to catch up following a funeral. They are attacked by a swarm of insects who take control of the victim's body and devour them from within. Infested is made-for-TV trash, standard fare for sci-fi, but with just so many recognisable actors.
Not A-listers, but a lot of professional actors in it.
Solid talent.
Yes, and they're all giving it their all.
Rem Lazar. And we happen to have an official Rem Lazar action
I don't think
figure.
it's official. Oh, I don't think that's an officially released action figure. It has our logo on the front of it.
That looks just like Rem Lazar.
Oh, yeah. Keep away from small children and acetone.
So this is something a fan made for us. That's great.
Twin Dragon makes this episode for me, however it is American Rickshaw that wins it. Twin Dragon Encounter sadly gets destroyed by being sawn in half. Number 5. Best of the Worst, Wheel of the Worst, number 16. Another Wheel episode. featuring Manners Who Needs Them, Top Slot Spotting the Best, and Surviving Edged Weapons. Manners Who Needs Them is a video which introduces kids to table etiquette and place setting in a fun format, including a cool rap song which shows that you can have good table manners and still be hip and down with the kids.
Check it out. This is how the table's set. Knives on the right, forks on the left.
Top Slot Spotting the Best is a video with tips and tricks on how to win at the slot machines. A must-have for casino goers too lazy to read what's on the machine. From an age when you got VHS tape guides for literally everything.
1 time, 3 times, 5 times, 6 times, 2 times, 4 times, 10 times, 100 times. It keeps going around. Believe me, it's just luck. And certain pays will haywire and repeat the pay. They'll go, the wheels go all around.
Surviving Edged Weapons is an informational video strictly for use by law enforcement on how to defeat today's fastest growing threat, knives, blades, and other edged weapons. A tense and disturbing look at dealing with the reality of edged weapons in the wrong hands. It's easy to see why the gang finds this so epic. Surviving Edged Weapons is horrible. I hate seeing this stuff. But it is a really tense, dramatic event feature film based on real events.
Adding to the threat are a host of improvised weapons. Sunglasses that can be flicked to poke out your eyes. Fish hooks hidden in earrings are stuck through pant legs to rip your fingers on a pat down.
Horror, action, drama,
It has
comedy.
It all. It has it all.
Everything.
Remember that faraway shot where you could see all the way down the stairs and the cop car pulls up and we're like, we know our cop got stabbed and we can't find him anywhere. And then the camera dollies over in this beautiful dolly shot and there he is laying there.
Yeah.
We don't even know this cop and we felt so bad for him. We felt sympathy for this character
There's
that
more
we
to that
haven't met.
scene though, because he's not dead, he's injured. He's actually on the ground bleeding to death while holding a criminal at bay with his gun.
It's the most exciting action scene I've seen in a movie, maybe ever.
And there's even a moment in this video where they say, "Cop, if you have been shot through the chest and your lung is in danger of collapsing, you lean your head back and you take out either a piece of plastic or a credit card to hermetically seal the hole to prevent your lung from collapsing."
I learned that. I didn't know
You
that.
do that. A tear came out of my eye and then it turned into a bald eagle. And it flew away. And I said, this is the best video I've ever seen.
We gave this a standing ovation. That's the first time in Best of the Worst history.
That's true.
The first inductee to the Best of the Worst Hall of Fame. It's just this in a framed picture of Cameron Mitchell.
So don't lick your lips and fingers too, but ask to be excused when you are through. Don't forget the words please and thank you. We said enough and now we're through. So you're hip to this and hip to that. No, it's a wrap.
Number 4. Best of the Worst Christmas 2020. And this is one of the always terrifying Black Spine episodes. Tim is our guest this episode, and Tim has appeared on Red Letter Media multiple times, most notable for his mustache and being real funny. We get 8 tapes of varying quality. It Ain't Worth It is a sex education video which is heavily pro-abstinence and distinctly full of bad information, likely another among the many pieces of Christian propaganda trying to sneak their way into circulation as educational material. Second Chance vs. Magnum Force is a gun nut variety show, primarily made to sell Second Chance body armor. It features Rich Davis, the founder of the first company to make and sell Kevlar body armor commercially, as he shoots cars, targets, and himself in his Kevlar vest, which is a pretty effective sales pitch, as well as comedy skits, reenactments, and interviews with law enforcement officers who have been shot while wearing his body armor.
Anyway, we'll crank off a little bit of the M60 here.
This is my present to myself.
Again, the best way to
Have the tracer bullets and everything?
I hope the whole video is him just shooting cars.
Wow. Oh, this is amazing.
All right, Ben, let him have it.
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god!
This is the best Black Spine ever.
They're just unloading. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Easy as pie, guys. But the tire does not explode like you see in
It kind of sounds like Roger Ebert.
traditionally held in the movies.
You know?
I hated this movie. That's a statement I made many times while leaving the screening room, and now here.
For a bullet to have enough energy to physically knock
a human being backwards.
Are
The
some
bullet
of
would
the
have to
affronts
be
to my
so
taste,
powerful
my intelligence, and my
that
patience
the man who fired
that
the shot
inspired
was
my
also
revenge
knocked
in
backwards.
some
That's simple
hate-filled
physics.
How to Carve Great Faces for Halloween is an instructional video on how to carve faces into pumpkins. Hosted by Gordy Falk, the Pumpkin Man of Milwaukee.
How to Carve Great Faces for Halloween, 1988.
Same year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was a banner year for crazy men with VHS cameras.
They reach in the drawer and pull out something that you could probably win the Peloponnesian Wars with.
I carve between 500 and 800 different pumpkins every Halloween. So that's about 4,000 pumpkins in the last 8 years.
Develop Your Psychic Powers is a video containing various exercises to help you enhance and develop your natural psychic powers. Hosted by Litany Burns, who gently guides you through her process, which may or may not develop your psychic powers.
Hi, I'm Litany Burns.
This video is produced by Tim and Eric.
Hey, everybody.
I don't know if you know that.
Yeah,
I don't
it
make
looks
any
like a
claims.
Tim and Eric sketch.
Hi, I'm Litany Burns. Burns. See how easily you do it now? Do it now, do it now, do it now, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. You don't have a crystal ball, you can use any translucent surface.
Dream Bunny is a children's entertainment show about a magical giant stuffed bunny that children see when they are in dreamland. A place filled with mimes and clowns where the kids go when they're sleeping. Dream Bunny gets the kids to sing and dance and confront their fears, which was likely meant to be a sweet thing but ends up downright terrifying. One among so many wannabe Barney videos.
Dream Bunny, hop into dreamland. Dream Bunny as I hop into bed.
There are several mimes,
Yes.
which is odd.
Yeah.
It's an odd choice. It's so odd, it makes me wonder if this wasn't dreamed up by the mimes.
The clown is the creepiest one because that guy is committed. He stays like this. Every once in a while you see him move.
Oh, that's what the bunny's supposed to look like. Until Estelle Getty fucked up the costume. Stop or my mom will make a dream bunny costume.
Second Chance vs. Magnum Force wins Best of the Worst, largely because of the guns and the raw animal charisma of the host. Number 3. Best of the Worst Jacko, Rock and Roll Nightmare, and Shark Exorcist. This is a regular episode where the gang pick 3 movies themed around Halloween. Jacko is a Halloween horror movie about a scythe-wielding, pumpkin-headed killer who's back from the dead to take his vengeance on the descendants of the townsfolk who killed him. Notable as Cameron Mitchell's last movie, but it sucks.
I'm gonna say he'll be man sitting at desk. My prediction is he's going to be in the same desk he was from Demon Cop.
I mean, has your mind ceased to believe that which I've shown you to be
Cameron
true?
Mitchell, he's gonna be on the TV.
Oh,
That'll be
no.
it.
Remind you,
Is he at the desk
human
though?
mind in the darkest of evils. Welcome.
Yes, you're right! You're so right, Jay.
Is that the same footage from Demon Cop?
And here we see an example of Mike making jokes. He's extremely witty, and once in a while delivers a great piece of wordplay. This is why we forgive him being a contrarian and a jerk, because he's got great comedy chops.
Overall, Jacko, weirdest biopic about Kennedy's widow I've ever seen. That's pretty good though, right? That's pretty good.
Rock and Roll Nightmare is a comedy heavy metal horror movie, starring hair metal musician and strongman John Mickle Thor.
Okay, well, first of all, who is John Mickle Thor?
He's a metal musician who had a band called Thor. His thing was that he was a big muscle man.
There's lightning in my eyes!
A rock band goes to an old farmhouse with a studio in the barn to record their album. Strange monsters begin attacking the group, killing them one by one, until only Thor remains. He accepts the challenge in an epic battle of good versus evil. I freaking love the ending fight with Thor versus the devil and his little demon starfish.
I knew if I pissed you off long enough, you'd make a personal appearance.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah.
What is? What are those little guys?
Little guys.
No!
They're gonna do battle?
By throwing puppets at each other?
Holy shit.
Why did this become awesome?
They're rubber starfish.
Shark Exorcist is a sleazy horror movie about a demonic shark nun who summons a demon shark. It then possesses a bikini-clad woman, resulting in the deaths of various other bikini-clad women, in possibly the worst movie to ever appear in Best of the Worst, earning it the place of Worst of the Worst. The Red Letter Media gang literally beg us not to watch or support this film, and that really is something. This is the worst movie I've ever seen is something Mike says a lot, but nobody calls him out here. Usually it's hyperbole and a joke which he overuses. Here, it may truly be the worst thing they've ever had on the show.
I can think of nothing better to do with 70 minutes of my time.
Oh, it's only 70 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Should we go watch the movie now?
I guess so. I kind of like can't move. Like my feet won't move.
I just can't will mine to move.
I think it's like a natural reaction.
Like self-defense?
Yeah.
Your self-defense body is just kicked in? No.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing this anymore.
Like walking into traffic.
Lord Satan, accept my sacrifice! Send me an avenger!
Damn her. For all eternity. I'll kill you! No!
Wait, what?
Like,
What? She's laughing!
She's laughing!
She's laughing!
What the fuck is happening?
The movie just stopped.
The guys' brains are melted by the end, so they struggle to grasp what they're seeing. But clearly the buff blonde getting killed by the nun at the end is showing the murder-turned-shark sacrifice that started the movie. And the creepy girl at the mall scene is then even earlier showing the nun before she became a shark demon nun. Yep, that's a normal thing to say about a movie. So, Rock and Roll Nightmare wins, and Shark Exorcist gets destroyed by being thrown into Lake Michigan. Number 2. Best of the Worst Elves, Santa Claus, and Christmas Vacation 2. A regular episode themed around Christmas. Jess is our guest. She's cool, she shows up a few times, and she's most notable for breaking into unstoppable laughter, like when they watched the movie Thunderpants. Elves is a Christmas horror movie, about a young woman who discovers she is at the centre of a Nazi eugenics plot to create the perfect race, by combining her genes with those of a species of evil elves, and the loose cannon ex-detective Santa Claus who is trying to save her. Yep, it's got a lot going on here.
I want to know the connection between the elves and the Nazis.
You and your damn elves. I'm sick of it.
Well, what the hell are these Nazis going to do with these elves? What are you, a goddamn Nazi or something? Is that elf yours?
Santa Claus is the classic tale of Mexican space Santa as he tries to defeat the devil, with the aid of the wizard Merlin, a hairy-chested blacksmith, and the children of the world. Can Santa triumph over the devil's minion Pitch and save Christmas for all the good boys and girls? This movie's insanity, along with Jess's infectious laughter, has everybody breaking down.
You should also note that he lives in a castle in the clouds instead of Earth.
The North Pole, yeah.
Yeah.
He lives in outer space.
He lives in space. He's Space Santa.
Hurry, Mr. Merlin. This is no time to play horsey. Santa's in danger.
The hairy-chested blacksmith, who also...
Oh, yeah!
I would love to find out if these are all real Santa Claus myths, or if the filmmakers...
This is the result of tequila. It's tequila and dry ice.
You know... Just one long night of margaritas and...
They wake up and there's like a film reel on their bed.
What did we do last night?
Oh my God! Did we make a movie?
Oh no! Not again!
You know, them waking up hungover.
It's like a double costume. What the hell happened?
Why did I get this red makeup on me? What is that?
What happened there, Sid? I don't know.
Where did all these children come from? And they're asking to just go home.
Christmas Vacation 2 is a National Lampoon film, the follow-up to the Christmas classic, The National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. The sequel follows the moronic cousin Eddie and his family as they holiday in the South Pacific and wind up shipwrecked on a desert island.
Let's talk about Christmas Vacation 1.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Okay.
Do you remember the lights that would blind everybody?
Oh, that was so great. That was so great.
They had to
When
turn
the
on the
neighbors
auxiliary
kept,
nuclear power.
And then when the neighbors kept spilling stuff, and then when they were cleaning up, the lights would go back on. It was
There's a squirrel and a
Yeah.
squirrel in the tree. How does that contrast with Christmas Vacation 2?
Do you remember the scene where the dog farted?
No.
It's close, but Elves wins on a tiebreaker from Jay. And Christmas Vacation 2 gets destroyed via Shredder and mailed back to Warner Brothers Pictures. Number 1. Best of the Worst Spookies, Action USA, and Alien Private Eye. This episode uses the poorly planned format of Battle of the Genres. Basically just a regular episode with intentionally mixed genres. Spookies is a comedy horror movie. A group of teenagers and one 40-year-old go into an old abandoned mansion to have a party. However, it is not as abandoned as they first believe, as they are attacked by an evil sorcerer and a horde of spoopy minions. They are killed one by one in sacrifice to preserve the life of the evil sorcerer's bride.
Shockingly interesting creatures.
Yeah, like they're not great special effects, but they're enough where you're like, oh, they tried.
They're fun.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Action USA is an explosive action movie, in which a young woman is caught up in a heap of trouble after her boyfriend is killed for stealing the diamonds he was supposed to be smuggling. 2 FBI agents must try to keep her alive against her best efforts, as the gangsters try to find them and end her life.
Get away from that window, miss!
Why? What are you worried about?
What? What? Oh no! Kaboom! Oh. Who was that? Who was that? Whoa! That's a...
Alien Private Eye is a sci-fi action movie about the alien private investigator, Lemro. The intergalactically insane criminal Kilgore has acquired a weapon of great destructive potential, the hyper-addictive drug, Soma. And Lemro is on the case to stop the bad guy, save the girl, and planet Earth itself. And he's doing it all in style.
Alien Private Eye.
Silvergrass. Mountains 10 miles high. 5 moons, 10 suns. At night, the air is rich and sweet.
Alien Private Eye is a terrible sci-fi film, losing at Battle of the Genres, but it still wins Best of the Worst this episode, because Lemro, he's the coolest. Spoopies is adorable, but Alien Private Eye is priceless. What a piece of bad movie history they've uncovered here. And having both Spookies and Alien Private Eye in one episode is a gift. This has cheesy horror, an action film with Cameron Mitchell, and a terrible sci-fi PI film. A great episode and my best of the worst. So that is my list of the 10 best of the worst episodes. There are many great episodes, but these ones are mine. Special mention to A Very Canon Christmas. Not enough movies end with a bad guy getting shot with a bazooka and he goes flying out the window and blows up. And that episode has 2 of them.